This video is going to be on how to not be a broke sprout. Essentially, we're going to cover things that a lot of sprouts do wrong when they start off playing the game. It's not necessarily a video to make a ton of gil, but this is going to save you a lot of gil in the long run. So let's get right into it. The first mistake that a lot of new players make is buying too much vendor gear. Vendor gear is expensive as hell when you get down to it. Imagine you're leveling 3 different jobs and all of them reach level 60 and you're buying the vendor gear for level 62. This is easily 100,000 gil right there. It's probably more than that. And that's not even counting in the accessories, the weapons. We're gonna pay upwards of 200k in vendor gear for this, just for those 10 levels as well. The alternative to that is using the elegant tombstones of Poetics. If you go into your character currency tab, you can see elegant tombstones of Poetics. All of the expansions have their own currency vendor. For example, the vendor for after you finish the Realm Reborn story, so you're trying to gear up for playing Heavensward, is Oriana. You can talk to her and she has a bunch of different tabs for your Tombstone of Poetics Gear. You just pick whatever is applicable to you and that'll get you all the way through the story up until level 60 easily. If you're looking for other vendors for different kinds of gear, I'm going to have a link down in the video description for their locations as well. The next thing that has burned a hole into many a sprout's pocket is teleportation. It starts off easy and you're paying a couple hundred gils here and there to go from place to place. But later on in the story, you're going to teleport all over the place. Teleport to the other side of the world. You're going to teleport everywhere and you're going to easily pay 20,000, 30,000 gil a day without even noticing. So just to put things into perspective, if you pay 20,000 gil a day on teleport, which is conservative for a lot of players, you're going to be paying 7,300,000 gil a year. So one of the best ways for beginner players to make gil isn't actually going out of your way and farming, but making sure you're not throwing that free gil out of the window. First of all, you want to make sure that you have a home point. Just walk up to any aetheryte and register as home point, set as home point. Other than that, you also have free destinations if you have two-factor authentication on your account. And you also get 3 favored destinations, which will cut the teleportation cost in half if I'm not mistaken. It might be even more than that. So make sure you set one home point, preferably your capital city where you also have your grand company vendor. And then also 3 favored destinations, which should just be locations that you teleport to frequently. Another way of saving on teleportation fees is by using aetheryte tickets. You can see these in my inventory right here. I've stocked up a bunch of them. And these allow you to do a single teleportation for free. So this stack of aetheryte tickets, if I'm only using them on teleportations of 1000 gil and above, is going to save me 111,000 gil. And these aetheryte tickets aren't that difficult to get. The easiest way I've found for myself is by doing the hunt. Now you have to be level 50 and you have to be 2nd lieutenant with your grand company, which is really not that difficult to get. If you talk to this hunt bill master, we can see allied seals other, and then here aetheryte tickets. They cost 5 seals. Now the way you get these is through, first of all, your hunt board. You can do daily mark builds, which they're kind of worth it. It's okay, but I would definitely recommend you do the elite mark bill that's posted once a week for both A Realm Reborn and for Heavensward. So just doing those 2 hunts, which is going to take you, worst case, 10 minutes a week, is going to save you 40,000 gil a week. Another way of farming allied seals is by participating in the so-called S-rank hunts. These spawn all over the A Realm Reborn and Heavensward zones, and communities on Discord have formed that will give you a ping whenever one of them spawns, and then everyone groups up. You wait for other people to arrive, and then you kill that monster. Usually it doesn't take very long. And you get a decent amount of seals, you get a bunch of tombstones, and it's just a really good way to spend around 3 minutes. It doesn't take very long at all. There's a great video made by Mr. Happy, who's a long-time Final Fantasy player, much better than I am, and he made a great video about hunts a while ago. So go check that out if you're interested in S ranks. The next tip that I have is that you should roll on every single piece of gear that you find in dungeons. You want to always greed roll if that item isn't unique and you don't have it already. Even if you don't want it, because we're going to turn it into Grand Company seals. So the way to make this really easy is by going into your character configuration and then unticking this. You want the items to land into your inventory by default. So you can see they land right here instead of landing in my armory chest. The reason for that is that it makes turning these in a lot easier. So if we want to turn them in, we talk to the Storm Personnel Officer, undertake supply and provisioning missions, expert delivery, and then we can just spam the confirm button. By default, that's numpad 0, but I've rebounded to G, which is gonna just turn it in. We can just spam that button. There you go. These weren't worth a lot of seals, but depending on how many dungeons you run a day, you're gonna get a ton more. Once you've turned in your items for seals, talk to the Grand Company Quartermaster. Here you have a list of items that you can buy from the seals you just acquired. There's 4 items I would recommend for everyone. First of all, you want to make sure you're stocked up on ventures. Ventures are used by your retainers to travel out into the world and gather XP as well as gil and rare items. Something else you can spend your seals on is dark matter, which you can use on crafters to repair your gear for free. You can also spend it on cordials, which you can use on gatherers to restore GP between nodes, which will allow you to use more abilities, which in turn will allow you to gather more items. So this increases your gatherer output. And lastly, you can also use it on company issue engineering manual and surviving manual, which will increase the XP you gain while gathering or crafting items, which can be really useful if you don't have those maxed yet. Something else that a lot of people underappreciate is the adventurer need bonus. Especially for casual players, this can give you a good amount of gil by doing things that you're already gonna do every day anyways. So if you're playing 3 MSQ on a DPS job right now and you have any intention of playing a tank or a healer in the future, then unlock them right now and just level them while you're also going through the MSQ by doing the duty roulettes on whatever role is in demand right now. This way you can easily make 20 to 40,000 gil a day just by queuing as the right role. This might not sound like a lot, but it's important to put things into perspective. If you're gonna take 90 days to get through the MSQ, and every single one of those days you collect just 20,000 gil from adventurer need bonuses, you're going to get a grand total of 1.8 million gil. Another easy way to save gil on a day-to-day basis is by trying not to get scammed on the market board. There are people in this game that are going to put items up for way more than they are worth, and you might not have any idea what an item is worth in general, so maybe you're just overpaying because you have no clue. Now I'm going to give you some ways to figure out whether you're overpaying for something or not. Let's say you want to buy this item right here. You can check the item's history by clicking this button up here, and that's going to give you a sale history, recent transactions. In this list, you can compare the recent prices this item was bought for with the current prices. So we can see right here, just yesterday this item was going for 141,000 gil. Now it's 121, so the price is generally going down. This would be a decent time to buy this item. The next thing you can do to make sure you're not getting scammed out of your money is by using universalis.app, link in the description. This website allows you to track item prices across time and across different worlds on your data center. So if I search for the item here, classical battle axe, we're gonna see a detailed history. And more importantly, we can see the prices on different worlds on our data center. This is important because you can travel to these worlds by using an aetheryte. And basically, I could get this weapon for 68,000 gil on Louis Soir right now, instead of the 121,000 gil that I would be paying on Omega, or that have been paid on Omega before. You can see 50%, 48% difference in the prices. So make sure you check Universalis if you have any more expensive purchases that you want to make. This is also potentially a great way of finding items that are cheaper on one world that you can get on your world and sell for more gil. Just a thought. Something else you want to look out for is people trying to sell vendor items for higher prices on the market board. So for example, this steel chainmail right here costs 20,000 gil on the market board right now. But if we hover the item, we can see the shop selling price is 3,000 gil. So this item is available in one shop somewhere across the world for 3,000 gil. Now, we can figure out where this item can be bought from by using the website called Garland Tools. So we type in steel chainmail, and that's going to give us the sources and uses, and we can see shops, and we can figure out that this item can be bought from all of these people across all of Eorzea for 3,000 gil. So please, whatever you do, make sure you're not buying vendor items for 5 times the price off of the market board. These were all the tips I have on not being a broke sprout. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.